Relax. It's ASMR. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another ASMR video. You may notice that my voice sounds a little deep and strange. I am fighting off some allergies / mild cold. I'm not quite sure exactly what it is, but it has made my voice deeper. But it hasn't been too bad. I'm surviving. Today I have something very special to show you guys. I was contacted by someone who enjoys my ASMR channel, and Brittany asked me if I would enjoy some books from her publishing company that she works for. And if there's anything that I enjoy more than food for unboxing, it would be books. So we chatted back and forth through email, and she has sent me a goodie box of books, which is an amazing phrase to say. So I'm not quite sure what is in here, and I'm really eager to show you guys and see for myself what she has sent me. So why don't we get right into it? I'm going to stand up so I can see the top of this box here, because this is kind of a tall box, so my voice may sound a little bit different than it normally does until I can sit back down. Okay. We have a sticker here on the front that lists the ISBN numbers and the descriptions of what's in here. It's here on this flap here. Well, I can't see it. Okay, I'll sit back down again. Nice crinkly brown paper. Make a whole video just with that. Here's another one. Put that down over there. Okay. Now comes the fun part. Let's see what we got here. These are nice. Hardbound books. The Last Wolf. It's a small gray book. Herman the Game Warden. The Death of a Craft. So I don't know if these are two. Yeah, these are two books. One reads this way, and the other one reads that way. That's cool. And I will not attempt to pronounce this person's name. Let's see what else we have here. The Musical Brain. This looks like it has a special cover on the front. It's one of those, I believe it's called lenicular, where you change the angle, and it's supposed to, yeah. So here you see just the hand as you turn it. I don't know if you can see that on camera. And then you see the words come up. It's kind of neat. Another nice hardbound book. It's a good size too. Here we have The Beekeeper. Rescuing the Stolen Women of Iraq. Wow. That sounds like a good book. Okay. This one says Compass. It's a neat cover. I really like that. It's kind of pointing up through the clouds into the sky. Nice shiny paper. Nice big book. Oh, Emily Dickinson. Envelope poems. Very cool. And we have, these are the 3 books that I requested from looking on their website. And I'll put a link to that in the description. So I'm going to get rid of this box. So now we can look at the books more in depth. Okay. So with any book like this, you want to make sure that you open it up correctly by slowly breaking in the spine. Just taking a few pages at a time, opening it up like that. Nothing too drastic. So these are 2 books put back to back. El Último Lobo, The Last Wolf. Copyright is 2009. It's nice, almost kind of like a poetry book. Nice wide margins. And then we have this book here, The Game Warden and the Death of a Craft. And that continues on. Very nice. So this one, it's really interesting to see this applied to a hardback book like that. It's kind of neat. Ooh, nice, bright interior yellow pages. This one's a little bit easier to work with. It's not as stiff. Once you start reading Aria, you won't want to stop. Wildly funny. That's good. An Aesop in Breton's Clothing. A delirious collection of short stories from the Latin American master of microfiction. Cesar Aria, the author of at least 80 novels, most of them barely 100 pages long, The musical brain comprises 20 tales about oddballs, freaks, and loonies. Arya with his flight, I can't pronounce it, Fuga Hacia Alente, that's not correct, or Flight Forward into the Unknown, gives us imponderables to ponder and bizarre and seemingly out-of-context plot lines, as well as thoughtful and passionate takes on everyday reality. The title story, first published in The New Yorker, is the creme de la creme of this exhilarating collection. So, some nice short stories. That's awesome. So, A Brick in the Wall, Picasso, Athena Magazine, The Dog, In the Cafe, God's Tea Party, The Musical Brain, 1,000 Drops, The All That Plows Through Nothing, The Oven Bird, The Cart, Poverty, The Topiary Bears of Parque Arauco, The Criminal and the Cartoonist, The Infinite, No Witnesses, The Spy, The Two Men, Acts of Charity, and Cecil Taylor. This is copyrighted 2013. It's a nice book. This is Emily Dickinson envelope poems. Let's see if we can open it up here. Although a prolific poet, Emily Dickinson published fewer than a dozen of her 1,800 poems. She preferred not to, and among the thousands of makeshift and fragile manuscripts of Dickinson's later writings we find her envelope poems, intensely alive and charged with a special poignancy, addressed to no one and everyone at once. The selection of Dickinson's envelope poems in fragments gathered here remind us of the contingency, transcendence, transience, vulnerability, and hope embodied in all our messages. I did not know about envelope poems from Emily Dickinson. So this actually shows her handwriting and then typed out so you can read it. That is really neat. I like that a lot. It's a very visceral book. It's poetry, but also the actual impressions of her handwriting. That is really special. I like that. That's cool. Thank you, Brittany. And then this is Compass. Nice big book. Let's see what it says. As night falls over Vienna, Franz Ritter, an insomniac musicologist, takes to his bed with an unspecified illness and spends a restless night drifting between dreams and memories, revisiting an ongoing fascination with the Middle East and his numerous travels to Istanbul, Aleppo, Damascus, and Tehran, as well as the various writers, artists, musicians, academics, translators, orientalists, and explorers who populate this vast dreamscape. At the center of these memories is Sarah, a fiercely intelligent French scholar caught in the intricate tension between Europe and the Middle East. Nice. Sounds like a good book to get lost in. So, yeah. New Directions is the name of the company that publishes these books. It's another beautiful book, The Beekeeper. Since 2014, ISIS has been brutalizing the Yazid people of northern Iraq, sowing destruction, killing those who won't convert to Islam, and enslaving young girls and women. The Beekeeper, by the acclaimed poet and journalist Dunya Mikhail, tells the harrowing story of several women who managed to escape the clutches of Daesh. Mikhail extensively interviews these women, who've lost their families and loved ones, who've been repeatedly sold, raped, and psychologically tortured, and forced to manufacture chemical weapons. And as their tales unfold, an unlikely hero emerges. A beekeeper who used his knowledge of the local terrain, along with a wide network of transporters, helpers, and former cigarette smugglers, to bring these women, one by one, through the war-torn landscapes of Iraq, Syria, and Turkey, back into safety. In the face of inhuman suffering, this powerful work of nonfiction offers a counterpoint to Daesh's genocidal extremism, hope, as ordinary people risk their lives to save those of others. That is amazing. I did not know about that. Translated from the Arabic. Wow. 2018. It's kind of like Schindler's List. One person using his position to save others. It's amazing. Okay. Now this is a series of 3 books. I read the descriptions of them. They sounded fascinating. And I liked the design of the cover too, so. As a designer, that had a factor into the decision making a little bit. So these are 3 books. Vertigo, The Immigrants, and the Rings of Saturn by W.G. Sebald. Perfectly titled, Vertigo, W.G. Sebald's marvelous first novel, is a work that teeters on the edge, compelling, puzzling, and deeply unsettling. An unnamed character, beset by nervous ailments, journeys across Europe to Vienna, Venice, Verona, Riva, and finally to his childhood home in a small Bavarian village. He is also journeying into the past, traveling in the footsteps of Stendhal, Casanova, and Kafka. The narrator draws the reader line by line into a dizzying web of history, biography, legends, literature, and most perilously, memories. So, it sounded kind of surrealistic and my type of book. And this one is The 4 long narratives of the Immigrants appears at first to be straightforward biographies of elderly Germans in exile. Sebald constructs the lives of a painter, a doctor, a teacher, and his own great-uncle Ambrose. Following literally in their footsteps, the narrator retraces routes of exile from Lithuania to London, from Munich to Manchester, from the German provinces to Switzerland, France, New York, Constantinople, and Jerusalem. Along with memories, diaries, and documents of the Holocaust, he collects photographs, the enigmatic snapshots that stud immigrants and bring to mind family albums. Combining documentary with fiction, Sebald exerts a new magic, and he puts the question to realism. The 4 stories merge into one unfathomable requiem. So I like I like the fact that he uses objects and photographs and drawings and physical objects in his storytelling. I find that fascinating. The Rings of Saturn, with its curious archives of photographs, records a walking tour of the eastern coast of England. A few of the things that cross the path and the mind of its narrator, who both is and is not Sebald, are lonely, eccentric, Rembrandt's anatomy lessons, the natural history of the herring, Borges, the matchstick model of the Temple of Jerusalem, Sir Thomas Browne's skull, recession-hit seaside towns, Joseph Conrad, and the once thriving silk industry of Norwich, Sirblind, the Dowager Empress Zuzi, and the massive bombing of World War II. Mesmerized by the mutability of all things, the narrator catalogues the transmigration of whole worlds. Every new thing, there lies already the shadow of annihilation. So, I'm really looking forward to getting into these books and into the mind of the author with these. I've been studying philosophy and some pretty heavy stuff, and I think some of these books will be a very nice counterpoint to that, not in a frivolous way, but just in a different way of using your mind and thinking about things. So I think sometimes when you're in school you get so much of a diet of one type of thing that it focuses you down, and it's like eating the same meal for, a month, and it can be a bit monotonous sometimes. So I'm looking forward to using these books to liven up my palate, you might say. So I want to thank Brittany and New Direction Books for sending me some wonderful reading material. And I will be putting a link to their website down below. They've got a ton of different books that are different than you would normally see in like a Barnes & Noble or something like that. Much more hand-selected and niche kind of books. So, thank you for watching. I hope my voice was a bit relaxing, even though it is a bit kind of deep and scratchy. And I definitely need to go have a nice tall glass of water. I feel very dehydrated. So please subscribe to my channel. If you haven't, I will be putting out more videos to help you relax and experience ASMR. Thanks, guys.